All right, we got a lot of important hype to talk about here. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more on us content. So we're going to start off over here with Sangan. So a lot of yummy stuff developed out of the weekend. And there were two very major players that really kind of tossed around the yummy deck. And one of those major players was actually Sangan out here. Because who would have guessed? Sangan basically being able to be linked off into an Almirage, going and getting you a yummy card, essentially was, full combo. Or, you can go search for a hand trap that you might need. And Sangan gets the opportunity to do some very, very strong things in this. And we've seen this kind of show up in the past with, the last time Sangan got to be a very nice extender out here. As long as you can get into a card that doesn't activate when it summons itself or, has an effect that you can do without that turn, that's where you get the value of Sangan actually showing up. And, of course, you also had the Sky Striker stuff happening out here as well. We saw some crazy movements with Engage over the weekend, and it's all because our yummy overlords are coming to take over the meta right now. To the people that are like, I'm not necessarily too excited about, yummy, I'm gonna kind of ignore it. Well, other people want to get ahead of the game, and that's what we try to do with these sorts of things, is when we can get the knowledge from the OCG and we can see the interactions and why things are working out the way they are, we try to bring this up to everybody and make sure that So right now, Sangan's and the Engage's Hornet Drone and Widow Anchor and a Kagari has typically been the package that you're looking at doing. Sangan has been a little bit more niche in some builds. Not saying that it's not the best thing in the world, but it's enough that we've seen a good representation of people trying this out in the very early stages. So I hope you're keeping an eye on Sangan and all of the little friends that come with the Sky Striker package. Dragonic Diagram. So Masterpiece moved to 3 in the OCG. All right, we got an announcement on our side of the game that we're getting a QCR Masterpiece. All right, that's all fine and dandy, but what in the world is causing, the rush and the excitement for Dragonic Diagram? Well, it's because Masterpiece. Honestly, there's been a good chunk of sales on Dragonic Diagram over the last couple of days, and it was enough that I was like, I want to talk about this because, you got people that are grasping at straws every day with Masterpiece, and, he is the original boogeyman. Like, let's call it what it is. The card has, basically 2/3 of the protections in the game, spell and trap, monster trap, monster spell. It really just depends on which mode you thought that you were going to need to be on. But the card was a very scary boogeyman for its era. And the fact that, Konami's bringing this back, it's got people going, I got to pick up Dragonic Diagrams. I want to be able to play this card, I want to be able to, that's fine. There's also always the possibility that, with Masterpiece coming back, Konami can release more support for that. And that could be an opportunity that you might actually want to be grabbing onto right now and actually, having the opportunity to get them. In terms of long-term with Diagram, it comes down to, will Masterpiece take off? Probably not. Will Masterpiece actually impact the meta? Probably not. Could they make more support to, back up the amount of people that are picking up Diagram? I mean, yeah, 100%. It's where I'm sitting right now with this. So, Dragonic Diagram, definitely for the price that it's at right now, and the fact that people are like, oh, hey, did you guys get your diagrams? Okay, now you're aware of it. That's the important part with this. The 2012 hype train. I love this. September 2012 is one of my favorite formats in the game's history. And the fact that we have a hype train for this right now, the fact that we are seeing this format kick off is beautiful. We saw things like Shockmaster going up in value. You also got to see the wind-up cards being hyped up in price right now. Well, wind-up was one of the best decks during that format. It's actually really funny because wind-up just came off of a slaughterhouse of a ban list, and now you're looking at seeing how that deck is actually kind of recovered. And and it's been doing it relatively well, actually. I'm kind of impressed that with one, the wind-up cards taking off at the rate that they are. Number two, the fact that 2012 is being recognized as a format is just freaking gorgeous to me. Shockmaster, this format does look a little bit bad on paper. Shockmaster is kind of the scary guy in the room. Oh God, you got shock locked. You can't play the game. There were plenty of ways to handle Shockmaster. All right. And I also understand that, wind-ups very easily were going for the shock lock. That was kind of their objective. But you have plenty of ways to kind of hold out and try to play the game. It is not unheard of at that point in time. It is nice to see another old format coming into the spotlight. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of wind-up cards available on the market currently to support, a lot of people coming in because, for some reason, just half the wind-up cards just have not seen reprints. And I think a lot of that's got to do with, Konami being afraid to have these cards actually come back into the game. I don't know, man. I don't understand some of the biases that Konami TCG feels like it has, but 2012 right now, very, very, very nice. Ulti Nibiru. So, if you have not looked at the price of Ultimate Nibiru right now, it has actually skyrocketed up. And this was something I was kind of talking about a while back with a lot of the Ultis, because we kind of saw Droplet a long time ago trying to make a break for it. Original Ulti Droplets were trying to raise back up in price, and it did its thing for a little while, and then it kind of calmed back down. And now we're seeing it right now with Ulti Nibiru. Ulti Nibiru's at one point in time, back in December, you could pick up Ulti Nibs for $58 in Nibiru, which is frickin' insane that they were that low. Today, in order to pick up a Nibiru, you're looking at about $90+, which is kind of awesome to see. A lot of these older OTS staple cards, as we're going to call them, as the quarter centuries, they did populate the market. They were very, very, very expensive, and then they just they poofed. All right, and that's kind of what we've been seeing. If the reprint of the higher rarity card is going up too much, people are going to fall back on the ultimate, and they're going to go, okay, well, there's this. Now, the thing is, we do know that there is an alternate art Nibiru coming in quarter century, which, for whatever gas that the ulti is putting itself up on the pedestal right now, I don't know if it's going to last. And that's kind of why I said, I bring up the Droplet example because we had that card explode in value and then it just kind of silently kind of crept off. But then you've also got the Drone Lockbird thing where, Ulti Drolls right now are still over $100+. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to hold or not, but, those Ulti staples are starting to do their thing again. And you got to be aware, when something's trying to shake around in the market like this, you got to be aware of what's going on with it. And then Tachyon Transmigration Seeker Rares. So, for the longest time, Tachyon Transmigration Seeker Rares went back down. I think they were $5 for Seeker Rares after the original hype. They bottomed out. Nobody was looking at them. I went and looked at them today, and we're over $20 again. Holy crap, man. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm actually pretty impressed by the fact that, there's that much hype in the Tachyon department, but you've also got the Catapult FTK still running around. The fact that the Catapult Turtle FTK is still a thing, I guess, has got people wanting to pick up Tachyons that just kind of protect their end boards and, ensure that they can do the thing. That's got to be it, right? You've got to be dedicating to the crazy end boards to ensure that things are going off, but I don't know. I'm impressed with this one. To me, Tachyon Transmigration has no business breaking over this price point. And the fact that people have been paying it, I think, is more of the outstanding part to me. So right now, yeah, you got to be aware of Tachyon Transmigration's place on the food chain, because that's absolutely crazy to be seeing. But there's a lot of things happening right now. on the market as per usual. You know, things look kind of boring for a couple days and then things just explode out of nowhere. And, you know, you love to see it, but please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.